Well, in math class, what we do is we read out of a book, and the teacher, she really doesn't have any involvement, but we read it out of the book. We do it on a piece of paper all on our own, and the teacher really isn't involved. And also, another thing that comes to mind is we read the book Extreme Ownership, and it just kind of makes you think about using ownership in an academic environment. So that's what I think of when I think of this question.
Well, in our school, we have a program called CPM, which is basically you get in a group of people and you have to figure out the problems as a group, and like the teacher doesn't really give you any like guidance. You're supposed to figure it out using like real world problems and techniques. So that is definitely something that promotes thinking.
There are so many things that it takes to be a great teacher, but I think the most important thing is building the relationships with your students. That's so cliche, but I think that's where the basis is. If you can't build a relationship with your students, then you can't do anything else. They won't trust you, they won't respect you, they won't respond to you, and I think that it's so important to get that down first. And then learning as a teacher how the students learn. Everybody learns differently, and I think it's so important that you take that into consideration when planning lesson plans, and tweaking your curriculum to the way that your class learns is super important. I think it's also important to build relationships with the families and the students' other teachers, because they're a big part of their life, and so learning about their whole environment is super important in learning about who they are.
So to flip that, what do you think it takes to be a great student?
I think that to be a great student, you need to be actively engaged. You need to be interested, and you need to be respectful. You need to be responsible in getting your work done on time. But all of that also goes with the teacher, how the teacher teaches you and how you respond to the teacher teaching you. And I think that being a great student takes a lot of hard work, but when the teacher and the student can work together and build that relationship, I think that comes out of, you can be a great student because of that.
We did a project in science class about the wind speeds in Hurricane Florence, and that was fun because we did use an outside element, obviously the hurricane, and it was just fun working with other students and not just doing it by yourself with teachers' instructions. So you just have the freedom to do whatever you want. I think that was really effective for getting a good grade.
So for my public speaking class, we had to do like speeches that were like lip dubs, and everyone had to like you got assigned a group, and everyone had to do like a lip dub to a song, and you had to like choreograph a dance and stuff. And it was really funny because everyone just got to like be themselves, and like they got to put like a funny like twist on it, and it was just like nice, where we didn't just have to like listen to lectures or like just hear like boring speeches that we don't really care about.
A day in my favorite class, I would think about high school and my AP psychology class. I had a teacher that was very like, she challenged us, but also let us like think creatively. Oh my goodness! And she knew what she was talking about, and she had a passion for the subject of psychology. And she established her expectations, and then let us reap the benefits of if we were doing well, or she would let us experience the consequences if we weren't doing well.
Nice. Now could you describe your least favorite class to me?
My least favorite class is my math class. Number one, I'm not a big fan of math, so when it comes to math, I need someone that's very like knows what they're talking about and can teach to me personally. My math class was like a divided one, so it was pre-algebra and algebra, and the teacher didn't, he taught to the whole class, not to the individual student, so that really, I struggled with that because I didn't feel important in the class, and I didn't feel like he knew who I was, and so he just taught and taught and taught and didn't make room for questions or make room for us learning the material.
I mean, I'm not really familiar with constructive teaching, but I am familiar with just having the kids do the learning and the teacher just not doing any teaching, and I think it's a good idea. I mean, it makes the kids think more than the teacher, and yeah, I think it's definitely helped me and other students a lot.
So constructive teaching is just like applying a concept to real world stuff or bringing real world stuff into it. I think it helps because it takes something that we can relate to or that we already know about and just apply the new information to it. So I think it definitely helps so you can like actually visualize it and have preconceived notions of it.
Consider the 2 classrooms you described before. Did you experience constructivism in your learning? If not, how so?
So the first classroom, I definitely experienced constructivist learning. My teacher let us do hands-on activities. She explained things to us. She let us be creative. And then in my second example of the math classroom, that was horrible. I did not learn in a way that was actively involved. It was very fed to us, but not in a way that was helpful. And yeah, so I've definitely received the information passively and did not understand anything he ever talked about because he wasn't teaching to the individual student.
I mean, I've had homework problems where, it's almost like you have to state something about your life. And it's just kind of cool, just to share little snippets with your teachers and peers.
So, teachers definitely help build relationships with students by first trying to get to know them and stuff, and also in our school they do a lot of different activities with them, and we have homeroom activities where everyone gets involved and the teachers kind of lead you on stuff like that. And we also have different types of activities. We have a field day where teachers interact with students and we kind of compete, so it helps them not look at them in a different light and stuff.
I think it's important to build great relationships with your students because when they respect you and they can see that you care, they will respond in a way that is very helpful to you. And
those problems, where you get to share just snippets of your life. I mean, it's not big, but I mean, it's something. And I mean, teachers, they always do little meet and greets, and when you really get to know each other, and I think that's important for having a good educational experience, so you know what you're getting from your teacher and from your peers.
When we're freshmen and stuff like that, we have a respect retreat and stuff like that, and that helps us get closer with each other and with the students. It's just it's basically saying to look at people in a different light and stuff like that. And otherwise, they just let it known that they are there to help us and stuff. So yeah.
to build great relationships with students, I think it's the teacher needs to show that they care. They need to get involved in the child's life. They need to learn about what the child cares about and what makes them motivated. I also think that to build great relationships, you need to find out the child's environment at home and what they experience, because what they experience at home or in their environment also transfers to the classroom. So understanding all of that, understanding their background and understanding their culture is super important to build a great relationship. I think that's important so that they respond to you and they're motivated in a different way. Each child is motivated in a different way, so if they are motivated, you can help them with what they need.